My message to the disciples who abandoned me. The world sees betrayal as final. It sees abandonment as a wound that leaves a permanent scar, severing all trust and ending all relationships. But my kingdom operates on a different, higher law, the law of unbreakable covenant and infinite restoration. The night I was arrested, the disciples, my closest friends and chosen apostles, did exactly what I had warned them they would do. They abandoned me. Then all the disciples forsook him and fled. The word used is absolute. They scattered into the shadows, driven by fear, collapsing under the pressure of the Roman soldiers and the mob. This was not a surprise. I knew their human frailty. I knew the fear of death would temporarily overwhelm their love. Yet, when I rose from the grave, my very first concern was not the victory I had just achieved, but the broken hearts of the men who had failed me. My message to the disciples who abandoned me was not one of rebuke, judgment, or condemnation. It was a message of unconditional, immediate, and sovereign restoration. It was the message that defined the entire future of my church. My message can be distilled into 3 unforgettable, life-altering encounters. First, the message of remembrance and reaffirmation delivered by the angel. Second, the message of peace and recommissioning delivered in the upper room. Third, the message of love and restoration delivered to Peter by the sea. This story is for every person who has ever failed the Master and believes the door of hope has been permanently sealed against them. Chapter 1. The message of remembrance and reaffirmation. My first communication to them after the resurrection was orchestrated with divine precision, designed to penetrate their despair and address their specific shame. The message was not delivered by me directly, but by the angel at the empty tomb, speaking to the women, Mary Magdalene and the other Mary. This was the first critical step in restoring the abandoned. The angel said, "But go, tell his disciples and Peter that he is going before you into Galilee. There you will see him, as he said to you." Stop and contemplate the power of that simple command. It held 2 profound acts of grace. The specific mention of Peter. Peter was the most broken of them all. He had not just fled, he had publicly, vehemently, and repeatedly denied me with curses. He had forfeited his apostleship in his own mind by saying, "And Peter," the Father ensured that Peter was explicitly called back into the fold. It was a divine override of his shame. It meant, "Your failure is known, but your place is secured." My forgiveness was unconditional, preemptive, and individualized. The remembrance of the prophecy. The angel reminded them that I had predicted this meeting in Galilee. This was the ultimate comfort. It meant, your abandonment did not catch your master by surprise. I accounted for your failure. I planned for your return. Their failure was woven into the fabric of my prophecy, and their restoration was guaranteed by my foreknowledge. The message was simple. Go to Galilee. This was their home, the place where I first called them. It was a call to return to the simple, original foundation of their faith, away from the chaos and pressure of Jerusalem. It was a call to reground themselves in the purity of their first love. My initial message was clear: you are still mine. Your failure is not the end of your story. Return to the starting place, and I will meet you there. Have you retreated to the familiar, convinced your failure has made you unworthy of the Master's calling? Know this: Jesus Christ is calling your name out specifically, just as he called Peter's. Your failure is known, but your place is reserved. If this message of specific, preemptive grace breaks through your despair, I invite you to subscribe now. Let us explore the deeper meaning of resurrection and restoration. Chapter 2. The message of peace and recommissioning. The disciples were gathered in the upper room, huddled behind locked doors. They were terrified, not just of the Roman soldiers, but of the crushing weight of their own guilt. They had abandoned me, and they feared my judgment. Suddenly, I stood among them. The first words out of my mouth, spoken directly to their fear and their shame, were, "Peace be with you." This was the message of acceptance. I did not demand an explanation for their flight. I did not ask for a public apology. I simply offered the profound, calming presence of my peace, a peace that transcends their failure. The peace I offered was the evidence of their forgiveness. Then I showed them my hands and my side. The wounds were not just proof of my resurrection. They were proof of my love for them, despite their abandonment. They were scars of my fidelity, visible evidence that I had gone through the fire and secured their salvation, even while they slept. Seeing the wounds immediately extinguished their fear and filled them with profound, holy joy. The culmination of this encounter was the recommissioning. I did not wait for them to regain their courage. I immediately gave them their mission. I breathed on them and said, "Receive the Holy Spirit. As the Father has sent me, I also send you." This was the ultimate message of trust. Despite their failure hours earlier, I entrusted them with the highest possible authority, the carrying forward of my mission, the power to forgive sins, and the promise of the indwelling Spirit. My message was, "Your past weakness is irrelevant. I have given you a new beginning, a new power, and the same high calling." Their abandonment was met with immediate, unearned, and absolute authority. Chapter 3. The Message of Love and Restoration. The third encounter, as discussed before, involved Peter by the Sea of Galilee. This was not a general message. It was a private surgical procedure designed to heal the specific wound of betrayal and public shame. Peter had returned to fishing, declaring, "I am going fishing." This was the silent statement of a man who believed his true mission was over. After the miraculous catch of fish and the breakfast on the charcoal fire, I addressed Peter directly 3 times. "Simon, son of John, do you love me more than these?" The power of this exchange was its tripartite nature, one question for each denial. I was allowing Peter to publicly and personally counteract his public and personal failure, restoring his relationship and his reputation simultaneously. The message I delivered to him was not merely a question of love, but a renewal of purpose. Each time Peter affirmed his love, my response was, "Feed my lambs, tend my sheep, feed my sheep." The final message was this: your love is not measured by your performance in the storm, but by your commitment to my purpose. Your failure is undone by your resumed service. I restored his dignity by entrusting him with the highest responsibility, the care and feeding of my church. Do you believe your past failures, your denials, your abandonment of the faith when pressure mounted, have disqualified you from serving the Master? My message to you is Peter's message. Your love is the only prerequisite for your service. Your brokenness qualifies you for compassion. If the profound certainty of this restoration inspires you to return to your God-given purpose, share this narrative. Let the world know that Jesus Christ restores the broken. Before you proceed, make sure you are subscribed. The final chapter reveals the scope of this forgiveness. Chapter 4. The scope of the forgiveness. The message delivered to the abandoned disciples was not an anomaly. It was the template for the entire gospel. My forgiveness is total, complete, and covers the moment of greatest personal failure. Consider Thomas. He was not present at the first upper room gathering. When the others told him they had seen me, he responded with the ultimate form of doubt. "Unless I see in his hands the print of the nails, and put my finger into the print of the nails, and put my hand into his side, I will not believe." When I appeared the second time, I did not condemn him for his skepticism. I went straight to the source of his doubt and gave him the empirical evidence he demanded. I said, Reach your finger here and look at my hands, and reach your hand here and put it into my side. Do not be unbelieving, but believing. My message to Thomas, the doubter, was this: I meet you exactly where you are, even in your deepest skepticism. My grace is sufficient for your lack of faith. The forgiveness I extended to the fleeing disciples was extended to the doubting disciple. I removed the barrier of his unbelief through the radical compassion of my presence. The total message to all of them, the fearful, the deniers, the doubters, was a declaration of perfect knowledge, perfect forgiveness, and perfect expectation. Perfect knowledge. I knew they would abandon me, yet I proceeded with the sacrifice. Perfect forgiveness. I offered peace before they asked for pardon. Perfect expectation. I recommissioned them instantly, entrusting them with the eternal mission, demonstrating my confidence in the power of the Holy Spirit over their human weakness. Chapter 5. The Unstoppable Mission. The ultimate power of my message to the abandoned disciples lies in the fruit it bore. These men, who had scattered like chaff in the face of a few soldiers, became the unshakable pillars of the early church. Peter, the denier, stood on the day of Pentecost and preached with such authority that 3,000 people were converted. He faced arrest and scourging without flinching. John, James, and the others, who had hidden behind locked doors, went out into the world and faced martyrdom rather than abandon the mission again. Their weakness was not erased, but it was redeemed. Their failure became the source of their profound compassion for other struggling believers. They knew from the depth of personal experience that the Master forgives the unforgivable. My final message to them and to you is that my kingdom is built upon redeemed failure, not human perfection. Your fear, your denial, your moments of running away, they do not define you. They are merely the backdrop against which the glorious, relentless light of my grace shines. I did not die for perfect people. I died for the weak, the flawed, the deniers, the doubters, and the abandoners. My message to them was a guarantee that if you return, I will restore. If you believe, I will commission. And if you love me, you will feed my sheep. Have you been convinced by the lie that your past failures are too great for the Master's mission? My message to the disciples who abandoned me is the same message I give to you today. Your forgiveness is complete, your purpose is waiting, and I am standing ready with a word of peace. Subscribe now and step into the unshakable certainty of your divine recommissioning. The mission continues.